As I learn and grow in my development to improving my emotional intelligence, the more I realize that the opinion that I have is not necessarily the opinion that other people have. So I ask myself the question, is it okay to disagree? Now, in the past, I have had tendencies to please people, whether or not I actually wanted to do what they had suggested, or whether or not I had actually wanted to say what I did say. I found I was saying what I thought would please them. And it doesn't matter who that person was. They could have been my teacher at school, my friends, my parents, family friends, colleagues at work. It doesn't matter who it was. All that mattered for me at the time was I just want to say something that will make sure there's no arguments. So, first of all, I want to determine whether you guys think you're a people pleaser or not. Because that's the first step. That is the first step in wanting to know if you're scared of disagreeing with others. So, are you a people pleaser? Is that how you spell that? I have no idea. Guess we'll find out, won't we? So, are you a people pleaser? The first step is one that I just mentioned. Do you say things to make the other person feel happy, regardless of how what you just said actually makes you feel? Whether you actually believe in what you just said. So, to summarize that, do you say what others want to hear? So that's the first thing. Do you say what others want to hear? So if the answer is no, you say what you want, well, that's a good thing. You're not afraid of voicing your opinion. But if you do, then you might feel a little like how I was. And I still am in some situations because I've had 18, 19 years of just subconscious doing this. It just happens. And it's a habit that I'm trying to break out of. I'm practicing. And through practice and repetition, that is how you get better. So then, if the answer to that is no, that's good. But if the answer is yes, then the second question I'm going to ask you is, and I just briefly mentioned it, are you afraid to voice your opinion? So if the answer is yes, why? Why do you think that that's the case? For me, like I briefly mentioned, I just wanted to keep the peace. I wanted to make sure everyone was okay and that, well, there's this saying, don't fix what ain't broke. It was a footy player, Jack Dyer, who played for Richmond long time ago. If you know, you know. And he had this saying, don't fix what ain't broke. So don't fix something that isn't broken. So if there's nothing wrong with the interaction that you're having, don't fix it. Don't change. So I felt that I was scared to actually voice my opinion so that I didn't cause a ripple effect in the water. So that I didn't actually change the opinion of the other person that they had of me. So I found that this was an external validation issue. I felt like it was an external validation issue. And for those of you who don't know what that means, external validation is when you need other people to like you, to give you attention, to validate, meaning to almost like tick off and say, yeah, that he's valid. I just explained that really badly, but I think you get the point, right? It's when other people give you attention and satisfaction about yourself. And that satisfaction only comes from other people and not from you. So I found that this was a big problem that I had to deal with. Now, what did I do to fix this? What did I do to try to improve and change? Because it was really frustrating me that I was relying on others' opinions of me and that determined how I felt. So, some action steps that you can take right now to improve your, what's the word that I'm looking for? To be able to voice your own opinion and stand your ground. The first is, let me just, and please excuse my terrible handwriting. I know it's bad, and it just gets even worse using an iPad and an Apple Pencil. So please excuse that. Say what you think. Just say what you think, because if you say what you think, regardless of what the other person might say, once you said it, you said it. You can't take back what you've said because you've said it. So if you just get into the habit of just say it. If you have something good, if you have value that you want to add to the conversation, just say it. It'll do you a world of good, and it'll do everyone else in that interaction a world of good. Now, I should say, if you have something mean to say, don't say it. Just don't say it. Nobody likes having something mean said to them. And I'm sure you wouldn't like saying something mean to someone else. Or even if someone else said it to you. I think it was important to mention that because there's also a difference between constructive criticism and just straight out being mean. So that we don't want that. We don't want to be mean, but giving constructive criticism, sometimes in a work environment, that's key too. Because it's through that criticism and the constructive criticism, I should say, that is how you're able to grow. So say what you think. Now, if you fall into the habit of overthinking things that haven't necessarily happened, or overthinking how other people might be perceiving yourself, here's what I did and what I'm still practicing today to improve that. So the second if overthinking, thinking, be great if I could spell, is a problem. Focus on one of two things. So I think you're going to laugh when you read the first one. Focus on your toes. Now, why on earth would I say to focus on your toes? And both of these things bring you back to the present moment. So not only doing that will help you stay grounded, it really helps with active listening too. So I will say, sometimes technology can be really good, but also it can be a pain in the ass sometimes. But you know what? I'm using it and I'll make it work. I always make it work. Focus. So they help active listening. So focusing on either your toes or your breathing, for me, focusing on my breathing helps so much more. It is the most effective thing that I'm able to do because it helps me calm and stay present. So I'm able to actually focus on the conversation that I'm having with the other person. And through being grounded, I should say, I am able to pick up on subtle cues from the other person, regardless of how I'm feeling in that situation. And I'm able to listen. I'm able to see through their actions and listen through how they're saying the words, whether they truly mean what they're saying, or whether they're just yapping and have no idea what they're talking about, or don't even want to be in that conversation. Now, I made a video a couple weeks ago, could have even been a month ago, I don't know. It was about maybe sitting in discomfort or letting people speak. Or no, it was pay attention to the little things. Yes, that's right. And in this video, I was talking about how people sometimes they can't maintain eye contact. They move around. They just can't look at you straight in the eye. Or maybe people just need to look at their phone while they're talking to you. And I didn't mention in that video, but there are some people with conditions like ADHD, or even some people with autism who they're not able to look at you straight in the eye. And I think it's really important to mention that, because without that knowledge and that awareness, we can make judgments of other people without being fair. Like sometimes you can make judgments about someone and you can be completely wrong, but that judgment's still in your head. And that is all that you can think. So I thought it was really important to mention that, because it's important. It's important to recognize that someone might not have it, but the same person might. So we shouldn't judge people based off their appearance and how they act at face value. So going back to that overthinking, and if you're scared of actually speaking and saying what you want to, if you can't just do it instantaneously, spontaneously, I should have said, focus on your breathing, and that will really help you calm. and listen so that you're able to focus on the little things. And then the third thing, now it might make you step out of your comfort zone a little bit. And it definitely made me step out of my comfort zone. But this has helped with my emotional intelligence enormously. And I'm actually going to make a video about it soon. So stay posted for that. People that know me were quite surprised when I told people that I was doing this. But this is one of the most fun things that I've done in ages. I'm gonna make the bold claim of saying my whole life it's been that fun compared to everything that I've done. Go do improv classes. So for those who don't know what improv is, improvisation is a class where you're able to break that shell and it's a safe environment with no nails. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. It's a safer environment where you're able to get things done and you're able to just say what comes to mind because you have to instantaneously say things on the spot. And that's hard. That's not easy. It is not easy at all. And I've found that it has helped me crawl out of my shell a little. And I feel I don't have the social anxiety that I used to. And I don't feel it as much as I used to before I did the improv classes. So that is something that I'd recommend everyone go and do. Find improv classes near you and go and do it. Go in with an open mindset and you will love it. This video has gone on for almost 18 minutes of me yapping. So we started the video by saying, you need to disagree. It's okay to disagree. And then we uncovered why people pleasers find it difficult. Well, first of all, how do you know if you're a people pleaser? And then what are things that you can do to break out of those people-pleasing tendencies? And then I've listed to you the 3 steps that I've taken to break those tendencies and what I'm practicing each and every day, every interaction that I have, what I am practicing to stop. So as always, and I think you guys know by now what I'm about to say, except you probably won't be able to read my handwriting. But I'm gonna show it to you anyway. Change starts with you. I hope you guys have a good day.